Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to My Curvy Life. My name is Fonda, and I am coming to you tonight with my co-host, also Miss Latanya and Lasagna Jones, that will be in the audience, loving on you and responding and commenting in the comment section. We thank you for being a part of this entity because without you, nothing happens. I'm telling you, we gotta have you. So thank you. Please continue to share with family and friends this entity. I am definitely wanting this entity to grow. I am a woman of numbers, and we are so close to the goal that I have set for the end of the year with 1,000 members strong in this group, guys. We are at about 732, if I'm to be exact, right now. So, got a little ways to go, but I am a believer. I have faith. We are going to hit that 1,000 mark and we're going to keep it going until we do hit it. But I would love to celebrate that going into the new year. So thank you for telling family and friends about this entity. Thank you all who have been adding in comments and affirmations and positive vibes. I appreciate you guys. We need that. It's the holiday season, and for some, it's not always a great time. Some people have time of remembrance of those that have gone before us, family no longer with us. And so my heart goes out to you guys. I am a recipient of that as well. I do not longer have my parents and lost a few family members along the way. But, I'm just thankful because you can have family not be your actual family bloodline, but people and friends that are in your life that are like family. So I love you all, and I'm wishing everybody, of course, a wonderful holiday. I wanted to make a couple of announcements. One of them is I am launching, or I have launched the Adopt a Grandmother or Grandparent program. Let me tell you quickly what that's about. If you would like to sponsor a grandparent, or what I mean by a grandparent is a senior citizen, you are more than welcome to sponsor. Only $12 sponsors. And when I say sponsor, they will receive a foot and leg cream or a hand cream. And that's off of your sponsorship. And then also, I will include for every sponsor a pair of footies or socks. For our senior citizens, I will make those deliveries probably I try to do Christmas Eve, but it may be a little sooner than Christmas Eve. It just depends on how much support that I get to be able to determine exactly what day I'm going to give. But I'm working toward 100, and I'm at like 90. I still need like 95 right now. So I still need 95 guys sponsors. So please, if you would consider sponsoring a grandparent. Also, if you want to just sponsor someone that that may be a senior citizen, I just don't want to leave our senior citizens out for the holiday season. Things change as you get older, because I'm getting older, and I'm realizing things change. People change, move, distance, different things of that nature. And I just feel it's always nice to be nice. It's always nice to be concerned about your next fellow man, and our ancestors did so much for us, and we owe them this privilege of feeling special. So thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys. You can contact me, or if you view my social media, you will see it dropping down. I'm dropping it down like every day. So thank you guys. I appreciate all your support. Also, Mary Kay Cosmetics, y'all. Mary Kay Cosmetics. I'm a Mary Kay Cosmetics consultant. I am a skin coach. I specialize in wonderful skin. So if you're looking for a skin regimen, you want to do better by self-care, I'm that one. So get in touch with me if you're looking for a extra career, something to do exciting, meet new people, use as a tax write-off. Earn 50% commission, or not commission, but 50% when you sell an item, you will receive 50%. So contact me, y'all. I'm here. Y'all know how to reach me. Thank you so much. So I am ready for our guest, and I am tickled pink. And there's a lot of reasons why, and we may get to those. But I'm tickled pink, and I'm very thankful for her saying yes to me and taking this time out. Um, this is coming on the stage is Miss Angie Garfield. She was born and raised in Omaha, and she is known as she knows her Midwest values are the foundation of her success. Okay. Angie has had successful years in the corporate world with a background in customer service, marketing, and management. Angie worked for OPPD for 37 years, and her entire career was in the customer service division. Expertise. Angie's expertise has been sought after for consulting both employees and management. Personal personnel seeking ways to communicate effectively to reach team and individual goals. One of Angie's strongest skills sets is helping others to uncover their highest performance and capabilities. Okay. She has had consistent success working with teams to identify and meet group objectives and goals. She is a business owner, guys. Angie, she created Customer First Success Incorporated. Company mission is to assist clients in exceeding their customers' expectations through internal, effective, and efficient customer service processes. Okay. Angie designed programs for all levels of company employees. The programs include, and I'm sorry, Angie, but some of this got cut off, so you can give us the rest of them. Communication skills, team building, team environment dynamics, etc. And she will fill in the rest. In September of 2019, OPPD joined with MUD. Those that are from the community will know exactly who they are, and combined their customer service centers. This was the first time in the history of these utilities to work together in this manner. So, Angie, thank you. Angie was asked to create a team building program for the customer service frontline employees, which would be me, and of the two utilities. The program was very successful, and it was, and it was a key to smooth the transition, to smooth the transitions. Okay, because there was a transition. This year, 2024, she's a co-author, y'all. She has had the honor to collaborate with talented individuals to create the book Spotlight on the Art of Confidence. Sounds interesting. This book contains the works of different authors sharing their wisdom on gaining self confidence. To contribute to the book with my chapter, Self Discovery, as part of customer service was gratifying and simply a joy. Public speaking. She's a public speaker, y'all. With over 30 years of public speaking experience, Angie is current member of the National Speakers Association. She is also a past member of Toastmasters, and she states all the different positions there in Toastmasters she held. Um, and she is also a member of the Better Business Bureau and the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce. Wow. What amazing, amazing. And so, Angela, I'm going to have to put this on, and I apologize, but I do got to put this on, I have got to put this on Do Not Disturb, because I do not want us to be disturbed. So I apologize. I had to do that, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get Miss Angie in here, y'all. Give me just a moment.
Hey.
Angie.
Hi, Fonda. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. You look
Oh
beautiful
my
as
gosh,
always,
Angie.
lady. Beautiful as always. My goodness. Wow.
Oh my God, Angie. Thank you, Pumpkin. Oh my God, y'all. Okay, I ain't gonna even
Oh,
start.
so
Y'all,
good to see you.
hey,
Yeah,
thank you so much. First, I want to say thank you for being on the show. I appreciate
thank
you
you.
so much for saying yes.
Thank you.
Angie, you made such an impact on me, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get this out now. Give you your flowers.
Oh,
You made such a big impact on me, Angie, and I'm gonna be honest. I tried my hardest, and I'm not gonna say not to like you, but I didn't like you know, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying. I
I
didn't like the
do.
program at the
I
time. I was
do.
like,
I
nah.
do.
And
I
I
do.
tried my hardest to like be like, oh God, I'm not getting involved in any of this. I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna just be here. And I probably will talk more than anybody in the whole program. Well, maybe not the whole program, but I just fell in love with Miss Angie, and I thank you so much. You were such an inspiration, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm just not saying that. I really mean that. You made an impact. You made a change, a difference in us through that program, and I just want to just give that thanks to you right up front. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Fauna. I have to say something. Congratulations on 25 years with OPPD. Oh my goodness. And I think back then, couldn't you start when you were 15 years old, right?
No. Actually, I was one of the
I know you
older.
had your birthday on Facebook and stuff, but that is amazing. And it's amazing. And I have to say, doing that customer service program at OPPD, um, I remember you obviously because we were friends, and then you said,
Yeah.
Angie, I got to do this program. I said, yeah, everybody's got to do it, bud. And I do remember, I'm not going to say at all the names, but during the class there was someone the very first seminar day that someone was not in going there. A little bit actually said their mind. And I did thank you, and I thank you again, Fonda, that you stood up, said, you know what, let's learn something here. Let's all be respectful. And that's
Yeah.
who you are. That's who you are,
Yes.
Fonda. You're very, very respectful. And if someone is kind of out of line, and you kind of turn the class around a little bit, and everybody's like, yeah, Fonda's right. Let's show respect
Yeah.
and get through the because you and you told me after, Angie, I don't even want to be here. But I still not disrespectful to someone. And then
Yeah.
after that, we moved forward, and it was
Oh my
great.
God.
So
It was
you turned that
amazing.
class
I'm,
around,
oh,
Fonda. You did,
oh my
and I
God.
loved
It
it.
was
And
amazing.
everyone
It
in
was,
that room respected you. And that was
well,
I'll
thank
never
you.
forget that. I'll never
Thank
forget
you.
that. All
Yes.
the
Thank
hundreds and
you.
hundreds of people that I've facilitated to, there are those few that stay in my mind, and you are certainly one of them for doing that. So I appreciate that. But yeah, it's great to see you, lady. I mean, you look
Oh
great.
God.
You look great.
It is so
Wow,
good to see
wow,
you.
wow, wow, wow.
Guys, we have a masterpiece in the house. As you can see, as I was stumbling through that resume or bio of hers, I
Yeah,
stumbled through there a little bit, but that's okay. I'm getting older, Angie, and my eyes,
yeah.
I'll be like, I'll be going in and out. So,
Those beautiful eyes. Those beautiful eyes. Can't imagine.
girl, I'm getting old,
Can't
Angie.
imagine.
So, man, we have a masterpiece, guys, in the house, and man, I'm not gonna even let her. I'm gonna let her tell it all, but I'm gonna ask some questions. So
Please.
let's start, Miss Angie, with just saying, tell us how how did you get started
Mhm.
with your business, and a little bit more about what it's about. I
Sure.
did read the name, but the name and all that, and just kind of give
Sure.
us a little history.
Yeah, thanks, Fonda. As you said at OPPD, I started young. I started OPPD when I was 18 years old, right out of high school.
Ooh,
And all my friends kind of went to college, and I said, no, I want to work. I want a new car and all this. But I'm glad I did it. And I was a hourly employee, then I was a salaried employee, then in management. And while in management, about my last 5 years there, they approached me and said, listen, you've always been in customer service. We have a program that we want to set out to all the employees. Would you like to be involved in that? I said, certainly. So myself and a few others, we learned the customer service program. and we started putting through to everybody. Started teaching about customer service. I loved
Mm-hmm.
it. I loved it. And after a while, kind of everyone on the team got busy. And I was busy too, but I loved it so much. I asked if I could just stay and do that. And they said yes. Well, it worked. And before I was going to retire, I will proudly say they asked me to stay on and do the one program for the leadership teams. And I said, certainly, I'll stay on and do that. So I did. And throughout the whole program, though, there were many times for people, I would say, this isn't in the book, this isn't in the program, but it's really important. So let's talk about it. So I started adding my own things. And after a
Yes.
while, I thought, I'm going to write this down. So I started to write it down, the things that were not in that program, the things that need to be considered, the things people brought up to me and said, hey, what about this? What about this? So I did it. I wrote it all out and I had it ready. Okay. Because I thought when I retire, I want to do something like this. So about a year before I retired, OPPD invited the MUD across the street, the gas company
Mm-hmm.
employees. He
Mm-hmm.
said, Angie, we're going to have their leaders come over and look at this customer service program. I said, okay, great. So they went through the class and they loved it. So when I retired, they asked me to do those sessions for their teams at MUD. I said, no problem.
Mm.
I can do them. So after a while, someone got a hold of me that retired from OPPD. After she retired, she went and worked for the assisted living facilities here in Omaha, surrounding areas. And she got in touch with me and she said, Angie, I understand you were doing a customer service program when you retired and right after. I said, yeah. She goes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
weren't you working on one of your own? I said, yes, I am. I'm designing it. I'm working on it. I'm doing everything I can with it. And it's complete. But that's it. She said, you want to try it out on my team of leaders? I said, yes, I
Wow.
do. So I went in and I tried it out. And to my blessed God Almighty surprises, it worked. And it went really, really good.
Wow.
So now I was teaching that other program, but then I was teaching mine as well through other parts of Omaha. And that's how I really got it started. Doing that and then working with a couple of heating cooling dealers that I knew. I said, hey, let me do this program for your teams, and did that. A person that I knew had associated with someone even at a financial institute, okay, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Schwab Institute Financial. He said, Angie, my team's having some problems. They're struggling. They just don't really trust each other. We've got a few people that aren't really into the team thing. Can you help us? I said, I'll sure try. So I met with the one person that did not want me to come there, met with me at coffee and said, Angie, I don't think we need you. I said, okay, that's fine. Can I ask why you think that? He said, sure. And so he told me. After an hour later, he said, so when can you come in? I said, I can be there Monday. No problem. Let's go. So I really discovered that, number one, I thanked OPPD for giving me the opportunity to do something that I really loved right before I retired. And then after I retired, people say, oh, it took like 3 or 4 weeks. Not really. It was about a year because I wanted to play golf.
Oh,
I wanted to travel. I found out that I couldn't be on the senior tour at golf, and that bummed me. I said, you're not that good. Sit down. Sit down. Do something else,
ha!
girl. And so
Take
that's
a back seat.
yeah, he's like, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. I know you love
Don't
it, but
start,
it ain't
Angie.
it. Yeah,
Don't
like you
start.
love me singing dance, you can't do that either. So that's nice. But
Oh
you
my
need to
God.
go through that. So that's
Oh
what
my
I did,
God.
and I knew I loved this. And since
Yes.
then, yeah, I've been helping. I've been helping companies. I've been helping with MUD. I turned kind of into my program then after a couple of years. They said, I'm hearing some rumors you have your own program. I'm like, yeah, I do. So that was wonderful. And 600 people at MUD we put through. I put
Oh
through
wow.
on that program, just me, which is
So
kind of tough,
so
but.
so let's talk about what this program is. Can you tell us what is your program?
It's really analyzing your abilities and your capabilities to be the highest performer you can with people. I go in there and people say, oh, I thought this was going to be about a customer yelling at me, or how do I handle somebody that's mad in the office? No. Customer service is all about you. And my motto is you need to leave that day better or the same than when you got there that morning. What I can help with is how you are with the people around you throughout your day, whether it's a customer, whether it's a coworker. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you think about your coworkers as your customers, oh my goodness, that's so helpful. Because now they're my customer. I'm going to do everything I can for them. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be kind. I'm not going to let anyone disrespect me, though. But
Mm-hmm.
I tell
Mm-hmm.
people, treat them as me, an outside customer. If I send you an email in the morning, I should get one back the end of the day. Not the next
Mm-hmm.
time I see you at coffee or I see you on a Zoom meeting and say, hey, did you get my message? Oh, yeah, you know what? I just got back today from a 3-day vacation and I'm trying to help everybody. Would you say that to me?
Help, Lord.
So
I'm
that's
gonna be
what you need to be. That's what you need to be. Don't get that look. Don't, please. So you should look at me as your customer as the most important person. That's how you should look at your coworkers. And when you think about them as your customers, instead of your coworker friends, there's less drama. There's less. I want to tell you as a customer, maybe I'm paying my bill and I'm starting to tell you about, oh, I got a big Thanksgiving plan, blah, blah, blah. It's a few minutes, right? It's not a half an hour, by my desk. There's ways to do that. And there's ways to treat people. It's called psychological reciprocity. And it's what you put out to people. 99% of the time, you're going to get it back that way, good or bad. It works almost every single time. And if you see a person in a bad mood or you're working with someone that you know might be going through something, do that psychological reciprocity. Treat them the best you can. And if it doesn't work, if it backfires, so what? You go home later thinking, hey, I did the best I could. I know I put some, because I will tell you this, and I teach this in my classes. 80% of how people act throughout the day is their home life. And I mean that. 80%
That's
of how
true.
people act at work is their home life. People have things going on in their
Mm.
home life. You have no idea. And how do I know this? Because I was the person in my consultant's business. Very often I was the person that I talked to that person last. They said, oh, yeah, Angie, I know. I'm supposed to talk to you, and then I'm going to get fired if I don't change. And I'm like, what are you doing? What's wrong? 80%. It was their home life.
Right.
There was a lady had to have her mother moved in because of her health care. They couldn't afford to have her somewhere. Her husband hated that. It ruined their lives, he said. I had talked to a gentleman. His wife was going to the boats and spending their retirement. I talked to a mom.
Mm.
She knows her son's on drugs. She doesn't know where he's getting them. What am I going to do? Lock him in his room? And there's so much going on that they don't want to talk about at work. They shouldn't. It's none of our business. None of our business. But there's a lot. And how they act at work is their home life. And sometimes when I tell
Wow.
people that in classes, guess what? The not so nice people act a little bit better because they're like, I don't want anybody to know my life is that bad. I'm all right. I'm good.
You
I'm
know
good.
what? They don't want to know like, what's going on. But no, on a serious note, I love it because that is so true. And I never thought about it like that. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
I'm a camouflager. I'm the type that when I go to work, I'll camouflage it. But then when I get off work, I'm like, oh, Lord, And when I get home, I'm like, oh, I'm really breaking down. So I will hold it in and camouflage it. But on the inside, sometimes people can see your insides. I'm gonna
Oh,
say
yeah.
that. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean? They can see your insides, whether it's through your tone or,
Mhm.
you know. But Angie, what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna reminisce a little bit about when because I did we take your program too? I think we took your program as well.
No, not
No,
my
we didn't.
particular program. OPPD actually
G-
bought the program. out of, I believe it
Oh,
was Phoenix, Arizona. And they did a train the trainer to myself and some people that went across the OPPD company and taught that program. Yes.
you know what I thought was amazing about how you facilitated the program is that you were transparent. You let us be transparent. You were transparent, and even though we were like blah, 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 you would you would you would find a nice joke or something, but you would always redirect us. You know, you
Oh,
had to do a lot of redirecting because, you
yeah.
know,
Funny.
we didn't get the concept. I don't think in the beginning we thought it was like a vent section. Yes, we can
We
vent,
did.
tell
And I
everybody
let
to
it be. I
complain,
didn't care.
but
Go ahead. You're right. You know, you're right, Fonda.
we
And
did.
it brought out some true colors in people. I'll never forget. There was a part of the program at the end where we had like a Jeopardy game kind of thing about the
Uh,
material we had covered. And I remember two teams at the middle of it. Somebody turned around and said, "That team's cheating. She's looking at her book." I said, "Listen, I never said you could not look in your book." "Well, that ain't right." And they started going crazy. I said, "Listen to me right now. These prizes are not that good. When you win,
it ain't worth
you'll
all
be
that.
disappointed, okay, that you put all the work into it. I'm telling you right now. And just to clue you in, everybody's getting a prize. So everybody calm down, because
Oh God,
I learned so much from the humanity of our co-workers.
yes.
Everybody's the same. They all have problems. They're all just trying to get
We
through
all
the day.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and crazy. And everybody really does try. And if they don't like people, too, then that's just too bad. In those sessions we learned, if you don't like somebody, you get paid by the hour to be nice, get over it. You don't have to talk to them at Target. I tell you, I've been ignored at Target. They turned the other way. I'm like, dang it. But when you saw them in the deli, they were getting paid to say good morning. And that's what they should do.
Hello.
When you look at
Hey,
it that
you
way,
gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, yeah.
I
When you're
wanted
getting
to I
paid to
wanted
do it,
to I wanted to hit a little bit on because about different personalities
yeah,
in your program.
right,
And I think this is very, very important and I believe you had here being a socializer,
yep,
a driver,
yes,
a proponent, and an organizer. Now, I
yeah.
will be honest, I don't know what a proponent is really meaning, so I'm going to
Well,
ask you
yeah.
to
If
explain,
you
but I
don't
want
mind, yeah. If I
you to
could,
break them
Rhonda,
down
you
for
bet.
us.
I love it. A socializer, they're me. They love people. They love to work around people. They're excited when they're on a team. They're wonderful and they try to get along with everybody. And they want everybody else to get along. The driver just wants to get it done. Why are we talking? Because when I'm done with this, I got something else to do. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they're great because they're trying to get it done. They want to lead it to get it done. The
Right.
proponent is the cheerleader. They're the cheerleader. They tell if you have a proponent on your team as a manager, you're so lucky because they want everybody to go along with it. It's awesome. Let's do this, guys, and let's be a team at it. They are for it. And I love that. And then an organizer, this is how they think. They want the facts, just the facts. Let's get things done. Let's get the facts. Let's do it. So I want to just discuss
Mhm.
this for a minute, if I could.
Go right
Working,
ahead.
working with the socializer. The great things is that's what they are. They're all team. The not so good things, and I'm a socializer, is that they often don't take people's time into consideration. They're going to sit there and talk. They want to talk. And what you need to say to socializer at work is, "Oh, I want to hear all about it. I've got 10 minutes, but let's go." Right? Now, as a socializer, I'm smart. I get it. In other words, Angie, shut up in 10 minutes. Okay. You're going to let me talk. That's great. Okay. So
Oh
that's what
God.
you need to do to kind of put that socializer in a time frame because otherwise they'll take it all of your time. The driver, they're great. They want to get things done. Let's get this done, but they're not very good listeners. You have a suggestion, that's not part of getting it done. They don't understand that. And sometimes even the safety part of things, You like to say, well, we have to consider the safety measure. Well, no, no, no. We can just get this done. We can get this done. That's not the so good part. And they're not very good listeners at all. They just want it. What you want to do with the driver to work with them is to ask pertinent questions to slow them down, slow their minds down a little bit and say, I love your idea. What would happen if this and this and this would happen, right? So get them involved in the steps of getting things done. The proponent, as I said, wonderful. They're a cheerleader. They're yay, yay, yay. But here's the thing about them. They have to have all the details first. They're very detailed people. Oh my goodness. I have a friend that's a proponent. She was trying to buy a refrigerator a few months ago. It drove me. I buy the refrigerator. Okay. Now they got this new color. Now they got the door with the ice. Or I don't know about that freezer at the bottom. Oh my goodness. The proponent at work usually has the biggest file of all the information they have. But once they have it, boy, they are your biggest cheerleader, and it's nice. So what you want to do with a proponent at work is once again, give them some time constraints. Say, bring me the information on that project, but I really need it within 7 days. Now that gives them a little anxiety because they got 10 days worth of stuff, but they're going to narrow it down, and you have to try to help them pick out the stuff. The organizer is wonderful, but they are factual people. It's all about the facts. And what's the problem with them being with that personality is that it doesn't lend itself to looking at others and trying to understand how they might feel about things. They don't, it's not that they don't care. They're just thinking of the facts. So as a socializer, if I walked into an organizer's office and I knew they were an organizer, I'd have my information on bullet points. And I would say, okay, here we go. Because I'm trying to communicate how they communicate. What if they're a great organizer, though? And I've had wonderful leaders that were organizers. They knew I was a socializer. So at the end, they would say, well, Angie, we got 5 more minutes left. How was your weekend? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. And so knowing that fact, I could walk away from organizers thinking, oh, my gosh, they're so rude. They were so mean to me. They didn't even ask me about my dogs and this and that. But don't see it that way. This is how they're wired. So for me, the organizer might say, oh my gosh, you will not shut up. It's how I'm wired. So when you know these behaviors and you have an idea of what behavior you are, you can lessen that in situations at work that are very important. Things like meetings, phone calls, things like that. And look around and think to yourself, yes, they sound like an organizer. I'm going to stop a little bit. I'm going to be aware. Is everyone kind of tired of hearing about this point? I'm going to ask questions of the driver. I'm going to be right there with the proponent. I'm going to be excited too. And your day becomes much more manageable. Your day becomes much less stressful. Don't walk away thinking that person was rude. The person's an organizer. That's how they're wired, okay? But you are going to do what you need to do to communicate. And people say to me, well, why should I change? Because you can, because you know the difference. That's why, because you know what's up. Do you ever have people that you know in your life? They're very calm all the time. They get along with everybody. It's because they understand. They understand who they are. And they look around and understand others as well. And that's why I talk a lot about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, we have IQ and we have EQ. And I'm sure everybody's heard about emotional intelligence, but you have really no idea how important it is. Combine these personalities with emotional intelligence, meaning how you manage your emotions to understand your behavior and how it's affecting those around you. That's emotional intelligence. To understand that is epic in communication. It really is. It's epic.
Yes.
And if you want, I'll run through just a few of those things.
If you go right ahead, girl. I'm going to slip something in here really quick, though. I'm going to slip something in here really, really quick. Everything that you were saying, I mean, it's so like profound to me. I'm just like, I mean, really, it is. I mean, but I am like, but it's really profound to me because, Angie, I'm sorry. You know, I'm silly, girl, but it's very profound to me because all of these things will help us if we can, gather what you're saying, what you just said can help us to relate, can help us figure out who we are, what our personality is. I'm a socializer.
Yep, I love it.
Can you believe that?
I love it. Yes, because I am. So there we are. There we are.
So, just listening to what you just said and how you laid that out for us, I was able to pick, okay, this is how I am. And then I was sitting in my mind thinking, okay, that's how my coworker is. Okay, that's how my and thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And one of the things I wanted to also mention when you talked about being a listener, remember I had the hardest time with that because
I love it.
I mean, I'm so much better, and I got better after you taught us that class. I'm gonna be honest
Oh,
with you,
thank you.
because
Wow.
listening was not one of my,
Me
number
too.
one deals. Because
Me too.
sometimes we start tuning out, and
Mhm.
especially if you're hearing the same thing over and over again, you start like me, 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 me.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Yes. Yes. I agree.
So, I, what I wanted to say is that basically, what all that you just said, I was pulling pieces out of that. And
Mhm.
when you're to me, in programs like this, you have to pull out pieces of it and compare it to yourself,
Oh
and be
yeah.
like, did I do that?
Oh
Or do
yes.
I think
Yes.
like that? Or do I come across? And, once you realize who you are in these 4, 5 items that you said here, for
Mhm.
emotional, and let me get back to it. I'm trying to find it. But the things that we just talked: socializer, driver, proponent, organizer. And one of my questions is going to be with this: can you conform it to another?
Yes, I'm glad you said that. Oh my goodness, I'm glad you said that. Fonda, we have all of them. We're all of these. Okay. Throughout our day, we change interaction in our interactions. We're all of these. Here's the interesting part. There's not one behavior that's better than another, number one. And number two, we are the personality the most is when we're stressed. When I'm stressed, I can't shut up. I can remember being in a fender bender a couple years ago, and I'm actually they're checking me out in the ambulance, and I will not shut up. The paramedic's like, maybe you just
Give her an
calm down
antidote.
and be quiet. I thought, no, I'm stressed. That's it. What? And I was going crazy. And that's what they are when they're under stress. When an organizer's under stress, that behavior becomes more quiet, and they're listening for the facts. And so that's something to consider as well. But yes, we are these all day. All day we are. I know you and your job pretty much. There are times where you must be an organizer. You have to get those facts
Yes.
because you deal with people's
Yes.
lives of whether they're going to have electricity or not. You have to get those facts and they have to be correct. That's the organizer too. They're
Yes.
very accurate. Okay. And I know you're a proponent as well. I have seen you within your team at work. And yes, you make the charge. And like I said in the program, you were like, come on, guys, let's get into this and let's do this. That's when you were a complete proponent that day, right? I've seen you as a doer, as a driver, just getting things done as well, but not ignoring people. You don't do that. You always listen to people. You've always listened to people. And socializer, yes, I have seen you with our customers and you made them feel so welcome and so relaxed. And that's the parts where I remember watching you and you truly were OPPD. That's the persona of this company. That's what we wanted. So, yes, thank you. We're all these things all day long, but when we are in stress or we're anxious, our true behavior starts coming out. So that's
And
interesting.
and Angie, you do have to conform to these different um deals, because people that you interact with, whether they're your coworkers or your customers,
Right.
you have to kind of adjust sometime to their personality,
You do.
which
You do.
which is not
Yeah.
always easy.
No.
And what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I love Angie. I just love this. I bet your program is just so
Well,
awesome. Do
in
you
the
still
yeah. Yeah.
Do you still do,
Yeah.
go out and do your program
I
then?
do.
People
I
can
do.
hire
And,
you?
and that's that. Thank you for saying that. This part of the program, I give a behavior styles test, and that's what they figure out. And it's interesting to me that most people that are, if they're in a relationship, they're either their partner is very much like them, or they're our opposites attract. And I remember
Yeah.
one class, this lady, she really took this to heart, and she said, I'm a socializer, and my husband is an organizer. I said, yeah, opposites attract. That makes sense, and so they went away on a weekend on a hiking trip to Colorado, and she said our first day there, I was trying to do this. I was changing. And halfway up the mountain, he turned around and said, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "What?" He goes, "What's the matter? What is this? What's going on?" She said, "I'm
Oh,
trying to listen to
Lord.
you." And he was not used to that. He said, "Are you going to tell me we're in trouble or something? What's going on?" So it's very funny. And I had a very young single mom, and her kids were like 5 and 7. And she said, Angie, part of this, all of this really is listening. I'm glad you brought up the listening, because she said, Angie, I'm always doing something as a single mom. Well, I'm talking with them. I'm doing the dishes. I'm folding clothes. I'm doing something. She said, and this weekend I went home and my son started to talk to me, and I stopped what I was doing, and I took to heart what you told me, go shoulder to shoulder and really listen. And he stopped and he started crying. And I said, what's wrong? He said, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. She stopped what she was doing. And I was laughing. I said, oh my goodness. She said, no, I'm listening. She said, I started crying because I could not believe how much I didn't listen to my boys. And so I love this stuff. It's human stuff, man. It's human stuff that we
You
all
see how much
learn.
you see how much impact you have on us.
I don't know.
You
I
got
don't
that
know.
all
I just
crying
laugh.
and
Man, I
God,
do.
you're so great.
I'm not a marriage counselor. Don't ask me. Don't
You're
ask my
you're fooling
ex-husband.
me.
That's right.
I think you can do. I think you can do it. I really do.
Don't ask a couple people. They'll tell you no. It depends on who you ask.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
So with your program, Angela, what part of the program that you want people to take away from your program? What would
I
you like
love
for
it.
us to take
Yeah,
away with?
thank you. They need to take away for them what they can do best. Every time, Fonda, every time people tell me, oh my goodness, I learned about me. I thought this was going to be about customers, but I learned about me, because it's got to be with you. It's got to start with you first. And imagine if I had the
Yes.
program saying, oh, we're going to talk about you and you all. People don't like that. So what the
Right.
program does is we morph into that. I don't start out day one saying, "Oh, you're this, you should do this." No, let's talk about what you do all day, because that's where you are all day. That's a
Yes.
means to an end that you really want in life. Let's talk about how you get through the day with either the customer externally or your customers internally, and let's make it as easy as it can be. Work should be easy, especially if you like it. Okay. And if you're really into it and you understand those people around you, you really can be. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but you begin to care less what they're thinking on a
Right.
personal level.
Right.
You care less.
Right.
You got to get your work done. And this person's going to help you. And let's go. So I think at the end of the program, what I hear, because Fonda, I don't know if you remember, I sure do. We had a graduation session.
We
And I
did.
remember
You
you
got high.
saying, oh my goodness, I will never forget that. That was the best
That was
thing
really
of
nice.
any
Yeah,
graduation. It was amazing.
it
But at
was.
the end, people have said, this affected me in this way because I learned about me. People don't do that at work these days. I don't think
That's
management
true.
wants them to, but they do. They do. They learn about themselves. And that's the biggest thing. I just want to help people so much, because I wish somebody would have helped me through as
Right.
early in my career, because I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I just thought, man, that person's so crabby all the time. Or, that
Right.
person that, I liked it. But, I worked on a team with all these personalities. And I remember thinking back, how that worked out. I was with engineers and I wasn't an engineer, but because I was the socializer, I gave the speech at the end of our project of what we did. None of them wanted to do it, So working with these types of people and understanding yourself and how you fit into that is the key. It's the key to it,
Right.
and
Right.
having some emotional intelligence. So what they take away is what they learn about themselves. And they learn, give yourself a break. Don't beat yourself up. This is how
Right.
you're wired. This is who you are. And you can try to change yourself a little bit. That's great. But you cannot change that other person. And you have no idea what they're going home to at night. None. You hope it's the best thing.
That's true.
But some
That's
people, it's
true.
not. It's not. It's very sad. And they won't show it. They won't show it. So,
So with you pouring all of this, into your program,
mhm.
what would you say that you have learned by facilitating, your program to hundreds of professionals and
Yeah, they're all the
but
same. Everybody wants to do their best. I have talked to what people would say a lazy employee. Angie, got to help us. He's so lazy. He won't do anything with the team. He won't this and that. So I talked to him. Guess what? He had no idea really what his job was. He had no idea how he fit into the team, into the company. And I said, why don't
wow.
you ask? He goes, I've been here 7 years. I don't want to look stupid. And I wanted to say, yeah, but you look lazy, come on. And no one asked him. No one asked him. I learned that everybody wants to do it or they want you to ask them to try. If they're not trying,
Mm,
they want to be asked. Can you please try harder? That's the first thing I've learned. Everybody wants to try their best. Secondly, people for the most part want to laugh. They laugh at themselves. They really do. You put them in an environment where they're just relaxed and they just want to laugh. They want to have a fun time because I've ran into people that say, well, I have to be here all day. And I tell them that. I know you're here all day. You're going back tomorrow for, you're going to have a lot of messages, more work, whatever.
yeah.
Okay. Just be here today and be present. That's all I ask. I've had the program go through MUD to most of their, well, then COVID started, but most of their construction guys went through it. And
Wow.
yeah, that was the most fun because here
Oh
they
God, I can
are.
only
Oh my
imagine.
goodness, fun. And they come in and those uniforms sometimes they're tattered and torn in the places. I was like, oh my goodness. But they sit down and I say, oh my goodness, thank you. It's snowing and cold out because you're going to sit here with coffee and donuts and we're going to have some talks. You just have to be real with them, And I thank God, rest in peace, my brother David worked in construction at OPPD for a while, and
Uh-huh.
then he was management. But I kind of know a little bit on
Mhm.
how they're thinking
Mhm.
a little. But all they all they want to do is be talked to in a professional and respectful way, and that's it. So they love to get
Appreciate it
out.
and
Yeah,
appreciate it.
people love. I had the president of the union in the class even, and he came back the next day. And I thought, oh, does he think he has to come to every one of them? I feel kind of bad because we had 3 sessions that week with 30 each, right? 30 different
Uh-huh.
guys each session. So he came back the next morning and I thought, oh my goodness, maybe he thinks he has to come to every one. And, of course, everybody's saying hello to him. He is the president of the construction union, very important man.
Mhm.
I said, how you doing? He goes, okay, Angie. And so everybody got in there and he stood up. He goes, I want to say something. I thought, oh no. You probably say, go ahead and leave. And he's like, Angie knows what she's talking about. Listen to this class. She's doing a good job. Oh my goodness. I wanted to run out there and
Wonderful.
hug the guy. And they were like, okay,
Angie.
okay. And they did. And it was so, I was so blessed to have that, and there's been in other centers and actually not utility. But another company I did the sessions for, during one of the sessions, it got a little bit heated of a discussion. And I'm glad you said I try to turn it around, because I do.
You gonna redirect it,
Yeah, I
yes.
tell it, because actually I look cool up there, but inside I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? So I did.
You like
Yeah,
this?
I said, I will tell you what. And I stopped him because I kind of talked a little loud. I said, this is why every seminar I have, I am next to the exit. Everybody started laughing. I said, because you're just going to see this door swinging. And I'm going home. And everybody started laughing.
Oh my God, girl, you was
break, and they did, and they were fine. But people, when you give them a chance, though, like you said, Fonda, it's kind of a complaint session. It's kind of like, hey, let's let it.
Yes.
That's okay. That's
but
fine.
what's important is but what's important is that you can redirect them. Your program sounds awesome. We're running out of time, so I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I wanted to, because I've loved this. I didn't want to stop, but I wanted to ask you one final question, Miss Angie.
Sure.
If someone was interested in doing what you're doing, facilitating, being a speaker, having a program to build, what would be a golden nugget or nuggets with an S that you could share and tell them to do?
Yeah, thank you for that. I actually know that. Have a mindset going in saying, how can I help you? How can I help you? Don't think about myself. I don't. I love my program, but I know it's going to help you. So let me help you. Okay. And when I'm with a potential client or with a client or even with the group, they're the only one. That is the only person in my life right then. Right. When I meet with people, I make sure I'm totally focused on them. I have things organized that I'm ready to go. And I want to just talk about them. If my phone is ringing, first of all, I won't allow it to ring. But there was one time where I said, I am expecting a phone call, important family phone call. So I will take it. Just let them know up front, but make sure they're the only ones. And lastly, oh, please have honesty and integrity. Honesty and integrity. I have seen it come back on people, and I feel so bad for them sometimes. Not that often, but once in a while. And I think to myself, had you just been honest, had you just had some integrity, because once that's gone, it's so hard to get back.
Yes, it
hard
is.
to get that respect back. So
Yes, it is.
Don't even try it. Stick with it. Honesty and integrity. Tell them up front, because I've seen people struggle and it's bad karma. So those are the three things I would say in any business to be aware of. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Angie. You have been such a blessing. I've been in tuned, and I know this show is going to help other people.
I hope so.
And if you guys want to get connected with Angie and have her do your program, I will get her the information. I appreciate you, Angie. I love you. Thank you for being such an inspiration in my life. I'm ecstatic.
You are to me, girl. You are to me, Fonda. Forever.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support and being a friend. Continue to be a friend even in retirement, because she's retired, y'all, actually.
Yep. You know it. I'll be like gum on your shoe. I'm gum on your shoe. You can't get me off. You can't get me off. Gum on your shoe. Scraping me off. That's it. No, I love you, Fonda. What you're doing is amazing. And I knew you would. And you got to continue it on, because it's the best thing, Fonda. It is the best.
I'm hanging in here. God gave me this vision, and he gives us what he wants us to do, and it's not all the same. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stay over here in my lane, and I'm going to do just what he's giving me to do. So
you're doing wonderful. Stay in your lane. I know I see you passing me up. That's awesome, girl. That's awesome.
I appreciate you, my Kirby Life. Appreciate you.
Thank you, girl.
If there's any questions that need to be directed to you, the night that we run the show, I'm going to tag you in it. And if there's
Perfect.
any questions, I will forward them to you because I'm sure people may have some questions.
Please, I
And
would love it. I would love it.
yes, I think this has been more than just. I mean, this was kind of like psychological,
Yeah,
and mental health.
yeah.
If you're having some of that, I mean, it hit all
Yeah.
around the board there. Thank
All
you,
good.
Angie.
Thank you, Father.
Happy holidays, baby
You
cakes.
too,
I
dear.
love you, and
I love
thank
you.
you for being on my Kirby Life.
You bet.
Until we meet again, y'all. Bye bye.